Here we are again, Generals, for this Tuesday edition of the 5-Star News. Kieran Freed here.
And Isaac Duck right here, and let's get everyone straight to some announcements on this Tuesday.
Sounds good, Isaac. Here's me and Brody with What's Up Heritage. Welcome back to What's Up Heritage. Now let's get on to your Tuesday announcements. The Georgia Milestones EOC exams are getting close. They'll be happening between December 6th through 15th, so be sure to study for your test. Also, final exams are closing in too. They'll be happening on December 18th and 19th for people who aren't exempt, so make sure you're passing your classes. Oh yeah, and Thanksgiving break is next week. Only 3 school days are left until Thanksgiving break, so let's just make them fun. Now, let's get on to the weather with our weatherman, Brody Morrison.
Thanks, Karen. And now, let's get on to the weather. For Tuesday, we'll have cloudy skies with a high of 67 and a low of 46. For Wednesday, we'll have more cloudy skies with a high of 59 and a low of 45. And for Thursday, we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 68 and a low of 54. So get out and enjoy that nice fall-like weather this week. Now, let's get back to our anchors for more news.
Thanks, guys, and on to the news. And Kieran, can you believe that Thanksgiving is just over a week away?
I know, right? This semester has flown by, and I cannot wait for Thanksgiving next Thursday.
Me either. And with holidays rapidly approaching, we here at Heritage have an opportunity to help our school and this community in a bunch of ways.
We already know about the Thanksgiving food drive, and by the way, we only have 2 more days to bring in cans for that.
Yep, very important to do that, and we have another way to give, and that's by participating in the FCCLA Thank a Teacher Fundraiser.
Yep. Students can purchase a feather from members of FCCLA for $25. Place that feather on their favorite teacher's door as a token of their thanks for that teacher.
Yeah, but we here at the 5-Star News talked to Ms. Cooper and a few students yesterday about the awesome fundraiser.
So we have started our Thank a Teacher fundraiser. This is something that FCCLA does in order to let students thank their teachers and faculty and staff members throughout the school. So our members have recently placed turkeys on different doors throughout the school, and then students have an opportunity to buy a feather for 25 cents to give their teachers.
It feels really good. I mean, that's the thing for me as a teacher that I love the most is when the students do things to recognize their appreciation for you, whether it be things like the feathers or just small things that kids do throughout the year that just say, hey, thank you for what you do.
Well, I think that this is just a great cause, and it helps the students be thankful for their teachers, but also helps them give back to those who are in need. And I love seeing all the feathers on my door, and I share my door with Miss Ferry, and she already has feathers also. But I do know that one student gave $10 to put 40 feathers on my door, and that means so much because they have always told us in education if we make a difference in just one child, that it's worth it. And so I'm feeling really proud that one person felt so highly of me.
I would love to stay at the top. I'd love to be the winning teacher. But if me having more feathers challenges some students to bring in money and we raise more money for the Christmas fund, then that's great. So yes, I would love to win. I'd love to have the most. But if we get a whole bunch of feathers and a whole bunch of doors and we raise more money, that would be the best thing.
All right, so I donated $1 so far, which equals to 4 feathers. I gave all 4 of my feathers to Coach Green because I've had him since freshman year. He's one of my favorite teachers, and honestly, he's just one of my favorite people.
So bring your quarters, buy some feathers, and we use all that money to buy gifts from our local angel trees.
Get out there and buy some feathers, everyone.
Moving on now to more news coming from our own journalism department.
Yep. Last week, those guys teamed up with us down here in broadcasting to bring in Local 3's own David Carroll to talk to both classes about the TV and newspaper business.
And that was a huge success.
Then, last Friday, journalism teacher Garrett Peace invited UTC professor and photographer extraordinaire Billy Weeks into his classroom to visit his students.
How'd this visit go? Here's 5-Star News reporters Owen Bryant, Devin Cannett, and myself for more in this report.
Show up and there's nothing happening, and what do? You panic. Be there when things are happening, right? Today I was visiting with the yearbook staff and maybe the future journalism students and photography students. We were here talking about how to tell stories and photographs and what makes a good photograph and maybe a little bit about the purpose of an image. You know, you need your photographs need to tell a story and need to be active. And we were here today just talking about those kinds of aspects of an image.
think it went really well. Billy's really expert in his field, so to be part of a journalism classroom and I think a photography classroom in there too, to just be able to hear a lot of his stories and a lot of his experience was honestly amazing. Billy really got into the depths of what it means to be a journalistic photographer, how it's different than just, taking photos for someone for portraits or just, running around with a camera, how it's a mindset, how it is also taking care of the people and representing them properly and the ethics of it involved, and that was really important to me.
He mostly just gave us an overview of his career in photojournalism. So the work that he's done for outlets like the New York Times or the Associated Press, but also work that he's done just sort of independently or for personal passions. I think it was really helpful for my students to see that, mostly because he emphasized the importance of storytelling in photography and being there at the right moment to get the right shot that tells the story of whatever event is happening.
Well, I certainly think they did. They certainly asked some really great questions today, and a lot of questions of how I got photos, how I talk to people, questions about kinds of lenses and how many cameras you carry. I think they were very interested in that.
Looked like a good time for both the students and Mr. Weeks.
Time for a quick break now, Kieran.
Yep, but stick with us for sports. Football was in Atlanta last Saturday trying to pull in an upset in the state playoffs.
And our cheer squad was also in action in the state tournament as well. How did they do? Next in sports.
Sports time here on the show, and Skylar, we are starting this bad boy off with football again today.
Yes, we are, as our Generals traveled down to Atlanta this past Saturday to tangle with the Westminster Wildcats.
A win would move our guys into the Sweet 16.
Could Coach Slaughter and his guys pull an upset? Here's Coach Green with a look back at the game.
Generals came out ready to go for their first round playoff matchup this past Saturday down at Westminster High School in Atlanta. But after a scoreless first quarter, it was Westminster to get on the board first as their kicker boots a 39-yard field goal. Will Simpson connects on it, 3-0 Wildcats. On the Generals' next possession, the Wildcats would strike again. Here, number 57, Lane Healy, intercepts a Brady Chandler screen attempt and races 40 yards for the score. It's 10-0 Wildcats. We're still in the second quarter. But we know our Generals never give up, and just before the half, Brady Chandler connects with Cody Bryan on this long pass down the right sideline. Great throw and great catch all the way to the 4-yard line, and that would set up a short field goal by Jake Collette. It's good, 10-3 Westminster as this one goes to halftime. Third quarter now, and Westminster hits Heritage with a little bit of a trick play. Here they throw the reverse pass, and running back Fade Burton connects with Wade Penn. He makes a guy or two miss around the goal line and scores from 27 yards out, 17-3 Wildcats. The Generals would come right back down the field, and this run by Drew Bradley would make the score 17-10 Westminster. Wildcats would get the ball back, and they would score again as the quarterback Jake Bouhay runs the keeper, gets outside and scores. 24-10 Westminster. Generals rally again, and this might be the play of the year. Backed up deep on their own 1-yard line, Chandler fires deep down the right sideline and connects with Max Owens. Owens makes one guy miss and outruns two more Wildcats, scores from 99 yards out, 24-17 as we head to the fourth quarter. Late fourth quarter now, the Wildcats would put this one away here as their field goal kicker nails a short field goal, 27-17 Wildcats. The Generals couldn't score again, and that would end this great season. We talked to a few Generals yesterday about the game.
I thought our defense played great. I thought our whole team played really hard. I'm proud of how we played. There was just some points in the game where we messed up. Me personally, you know, I had a few times where I didn't put the ball where I needed it to go.
Our seniors especially really rose to the occasion. We talked to them about running to the guns, so to speak, and it's real men run to the battle. We don't run from it, we run to it. And every single senior just stood up and led our team throughout the season, but it was really on display this past Saturday down at Westminster.
I think we played pretty good. I feel like there was a couple times where things just didn't go our way, and it was just really unfortunate. I feel like the score, it was a lot closer game than what the score was showing. I feel like our seniors, we all played to the best of our ability. You know, we all just went out there with a different kind of mindset, and I feel like everybody was just putting in their all. So I'm really proud of those guys.
This year we were in every single game, and I think that's a testament to the leadership that we got from our senior class. And so I was really proud of the boys again this year. Thankful to have had the opportunity to work with these young men and wish them the best moving forward.
Definitely a tough way to go out, Evan.
Sure was. That game was right there for us to take, but I know we gave everything we had.
No doubt. Still a great year, and we had a blast following you guys all season.
Thanks, Skylar. Now on to cheer. And our ladies have been on fire all competition season.
They sure have, winning every competition inside over the past few weeks.
But this past weekend, the competition picked up a bit as our girls were competing in the GHSA state competition.
Could our ladies bring back a medal? Here's five-star sports reporters Owen Bryant and Devin Cannon with the answers in this report.
The competition went really good. We went into the competition hoping that we'd place in the top 6, and we ended up tying for 3rd, which we were really happy about.
So over the weekend, we competed at the state championship, and I felt like we did really good, and where we placed was where I feel like we needed to be. The 3-way tie was kind of aggravating, but I wish we would have placed 3rd. But we worked together, and we worked for our seniors who were leaving, and we worked for our coaches who encouraged us throughout the season, and it was just a good competition, and there was stuff that we needed to apply to the other competitions that we applied to this competition, which made it our best performance, and I'm very proud of us and our coaches and where we are.
So first was Central Carroll, and second was Cherokee Bluff. They both performed really well.
So I think we competed really well last Friday in Macon. We applied corrections and worked really well together as a team. We worked all season towards this, and I couldn't be happier with the outcome. We scored 3rd in the state, which is really exciting.
I think the whole team performed the best that we could. We worked really hard at practice and did the best that we could, and it was our best performance.
Awesome. Great job, ladies, and congrats on the awesome year.
Now to our first story on our Generals wrestling team this semester.
Yes, and I can't wait to get out there on the mats later today.
We can't either, man. It'll be nice to get all of you football players back out there.
Thanks. But you guys did a pretty good job without us last weekend, taking 3rd place down in Calhoun.
Appreciate that, and with more on that tournament, here's Logan Beasley and Nolan Kaler with a report of the hard tournament.
The wrestling team got started this past weekend at Calhoun Duels, and we did well overall. We obviously didn't have our football players and a couple of other starters in the lineup, so we were a little bit handicapped by that, but the guys still stepped up and did a good job. We went 3-1 and got 3rd place in the duels. We ended up beating Kings Ridge out of Alpharetta 72-9, and we also beat North Murray 48-30, and then we wrestled Lafayette, and they have a much improved squad over last year. Their team matured, and without our other guys that we had with football players, we ended up losing to them 56-21. So, but we also had a second squad that we beat 48-33 to get 3rd place. So individually, some guys that did exceptional was Caden Taylor, who went 4-0 with 3 pins. Also, we had Jaden Walker went 3-1 with a pin. Logan Beasley went 3-1 with 2 pins. Skylar Grant went 4-0 with 2 pins. And Nolan Kaler went 4-0 with 2 pins. And Hunter Baker went 4-0 with 2 pins. So those guys did a great job.
We did pretty good on the wrestling tournament on Saturday. Overall team went 3-1. We lost to Lafayette, but we fought hard. I went 4-0. Nolan Kaler, he did pretty good. Skylar did pretty good. Logan did pretty good. So overall team did pretty good. We got a couple people coming back from football, and so I think we'll do much better once we get all our full lineup. But overall, as a team, we did pretty good.
So we're getting ready to take on Pickens tonight, and it's going to be we'll see how things go down there. We're excited about it. We might have a couple of our football players back in by tonight, so we'll see.
Congrats to all our teams and athletes on a great weekend.
Now on to some entertainment on this Tuesday.
Georgia. What is a fall break activity you did?
I'm here with
All in big stuff for Kayla.
Hello and welcome back to College Football Corner.
And we're going to get a quick check with Nate Triball to update us on the guest pickers did this weekend with their picks.
Could 5-star News favorite Bobby Hunt stay on top of the standings?
Let's find out. Here's Nate Triball with College Football Corner.
Hello and welcome back to College Football Corner. Now, this is your Tuesday update yet again, tell you who's in first, who's in last, see how we're doing. Now, our biggest jump up was Bobby Hunt going 3-0 for his picks and jumping up to 19-8 overall record, putting him in first. Closely followed by none other than Kayla Lopez going 2-1, putting her at 18-9 overall. Followed by that in third is Hayden Mullins, also going 2-1, putting him at 17-10 overall. And then finally, also going 3-0, Mr. Lee, being at 15-12 to round out last week. But that's all for this episode. See you on Friday.
And with that, we'll wrap up this Tuesday edition of the 5-Star News.
We'll see you one more time before Thanksgiving break on Friday. So until then,
have a great day and stay classy, Heritage.